Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Extra Connections special. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. The show Extra Connections is on hold right now. The after party is closed at the moment because due to the pandemic that's going on out there. So I'm putting together specials of people that I know and like and having conversations with them and then showing them to you to help connect. Maybe they'll connect with you if it's something we say. The conversations are going to range from whatever. It depends on what we're talking about. As you can see, I'm wearing a tank top because it's hot here in Los Angeles. This is day 41 for me that I have not left my property. I'm ready to leave.
Not even the grocery shop?
Nope.
Wow.
I've been very, this is my friend Mike Brown. Let's say we'll talk about right now. Hi, Mike.
How's it going?
That beautiful smile. So, no, I have not left home. I've been very blessed that I have people who they'll leave home for me, and they have actually. I'm like the old guy now, so they go shopping. The young ones go shopping for me. I had my mother of all people who don't get out there, most go to the house all the time. They go shopping, and they've actually brought stuff over to me. My brother, who lives with me, still works, so he's come home with a few items because he's actually working. And then I've ordered Instacart a couple times, Amazon Fresh a couple times. Even my place, Fiesta Martine, delivered me a margarita with my dinner.
Wow.
I was like, thank you very much. And took the shots for Patron, too. I was like, thank you. It's very nice. So, I mean, that's the thing. There's a lot of delivery service. Even with those, and I'm very cautious and careful even with those. I take everything out the boxes. I put them outside. I mean, it takes me like an hour to do my groceries, but I wipe everything down. I'm like, James Lott Jr. is not getting the Rona if he can help it. If I get it, it won't be because I did anything. I was like, I make sure I took care of business. So,
Right.
but I've not left my property. And you've been to my house. I have a nice big house, a nice big room. I love my nucleus. I have all my keyboard. Everything's here for my music. And I just decided that I'm going to do what they asked me to do because I do have a compromised immune system and things. So I'm like, why go out there? If I don't have to go out there, why not? I love my place. I have a huge, giant garden, which everybody sees my garden. I'm always supposed to see my garden. I'm very fortunate. So I can go outside and do that. So how have you been?
I've been good. So I've been staying home as much as I can. I would say probably once a week I go grocery shopping. Every day that I do go walk. Just trying to stay in shape, trying to stay healthy. I've been running again just because I'm not sure what's keeping my heart rate going while I'm in quarantine. There are things when I'm outside that excite me. So I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do to get this heart rate still moving like that.
That's a good point, actually, because I go outside and I see all my trees are growing, all my stuff's growing, and so I'm using my hands for dexterity, walking around, and it's the whole thing is like a lot of us are sitting at home and literally just sitting, so nothing's pumping. There's nothing going on. You're just sitting there. So that's a smart idea.
Yeah, and just find it like because it doesn't even have to just be exercise. Like for me, I've been doing these videos for my students. So, being able to create a video and putting like the production side of things into it, those kind of things excite me. So I'm just trying to tap more into like what excites me.
Smart. That's what I'm doing too. I've been, as you know, I've been doing all these interviews and stuff. That's what I've been doing. Putting out music, books, you know me. It's a light day for me, of course,
Yeah.
Everybody knows how I am. But no, I made a decision when this went down. Okay. That I was not going to sit here and wallow in it. I'm not going to watch the news 24/7. I'll watch when I need to watch for updates, but I'm not going to. I like that painting behind you. I have my African American art over there too. But I just decided that I'm not going to let this become this long days and like, oh my God, it's been 10 days, it's been 11. Like I said, I'm going to do stuff and maybe create my own world. Makes any sense? Create my own world within this.
I feel like there's so much that's being put out there by so many people that like as for us as creatives, it's necessary for us to be putting our content out, our energy out, because I mean, the people that are watching the news or even like in the beginning in social media, everybody was just death toll, corona, corona, corona. But then you log on now and you can see, James Lott Jr., the art of letting go and, what we're doing and what we're pushing. And I think that gives people like a sense of some positivity within everything that's going on.
I agree with that. And that's the thing I'm loving this whole thing of people doing IG lives and YouTube lives. I mean, I'm seeing my friends doing drag shows on YouTube, and you're doing the karaoke thing. I'm like, I have a friend who's doing this series, this whole quarantine series, and they're acting, and they come on and do that. It's like, I love seeing how creative folks are being during this time period. It's amazing.
Yes, no, it's really awesome. And you know, it's funny because I've been telling my friends there's two type of people in the world right now. There are people that are wishing for things to go back to normal, and then there are people that are creating the new normal. And I feel like we're creating what the world is going to be after this, because I know for myself, just through doing the karaoke's and putting myself out there more, even doing like remote stuff like this, like I really didn't want to do remote podcasting,
Right.
but
But
the more that I've been doing it, the more comfortable I've been becoming. And it's like, hey, now I can't say that I can't do this. Or even with the karaoke, I can't act shy now because I'm putting myself out here in a way that, you know, I'm showcasing my personality. So I have to carry this with me and not rely on those excuses of, oh, I don't want to put myself out there, or, you know, I'm an introvert, or I'm this, I'm that. Like, none of those things hold truth to me anymore.
and also the quality may not be the best. Like we're used to, sometimes as creators are very much, you know, like a thing, but it's getting to the point where it's like right now it's better just to put it out there,
Yes.
and that's the point. I mean, folks are this is a temporary. This part's kind of temporary. I think they'll probably, you know, freshen things up later as it gets longer. But for now, it's like, so it, you know, cuts out here and there. So it doesn't matter. It's like you're putting something out there, and it's not the virus stuff. Like it's something different. It's something
Right. So I'll give you something that gave me some confidence in putting my content out. You know, Diddy has this station, Revolt, and he did it was like a, what did they call it? State of the Union for Black people. And I watched it, and it was pretty much a Zoom call with a bunch of celebrities. And some of the celebrities had terrible audio. One of the celebrities, his camera was all off and he was shaking it. And it's like, the playing field is level now. Like the stuff that, you know, the excuses we had of, okay, this person has these resources, that resource, quality wise, they have the same quality as us. And in fact, we actually may be a lot better than them because they had somebody else operating it for them. And we've been doing this by ourselves the whole time. So we actually have the upper hand in doing this.
very true. I mean, I watched The View, Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Kimmel, and they're all doing it from home. It's like it's just now it's just the people who have gray hair, their edges aren't done. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff happening. I mean, folks, I just don't have hair. Even the other day, I did find these old clippers I had in my house. These are old school.
Nice.
James Lott Jr. a little nervous because I ain't never cut my hair before, but I may try because this is getting a little, I mean.
You know what? The worst that can happen is that it grows back. That's all.
That's true. That's true. That's what I did my face. I thought, oh, I'll just shave it off. And I'm like, oh my God. So yes, it's we're home. We're not going nowhere. So it's kind of we're home. But I agree with you. I think it's just everybody now has the same internet. Everybody has the same, you know, Wi-Fi internet connections. They have the same. Everybody's not working. Everybody's at home. Like I say, it's all the same. It's like everybody's just like, okay. So when I call my friends up, whether they're big celebrities or infamous or whatever, they're all like, sure, James, I'm sitting at home. I'm not doing shit. I'm sitting at home. And they're like, I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I found that my viewership on all of my shows has gone up because people are sitting at home. They're looking for something. They're looking for something. They're like, they don't want another update about the people going crazy in Florida. And they don't want to know that. They know it, but they don't want to see it 24/7. They want something else.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So now, because you are a teacher, and there's no school physically in session. So you said, so what is going on with that? You mentioned briefly a second ago, but what's going on with that?
So what I'm doing, they have me doing like pre-recorded videos for my students as well as live classes. So the live classes are about 30 minutes. And for me, the live classes are really challenging because I work with pre-K through first grade. So to have 30 first graders or even like kindergartners on a Zoom call is quite challenging.
How do you do that? I mean, how does it even work?
I think either the parents log them into the Zoom or they they learn how to log themselves in.
That's true.
But
No,
I
these kids
prefer the
nowadays.
recorded videos right now because it's like, yeah.
They do.
But I enjoy the freedom of being able to do whatever I want to do. So it's like right now, granted, I'm doing this for my school. It's also giving me the inspiration of, okay, I'm designing a show for kids,
Mhm.
and in the summertime, because they have us like rushing these videos out like every week. I have to turn in 2 weeks, 2 videos a week. So I'm using the school, and this is kind of me giving away what I'm doing, but
But you give away as much as you can, or don't. You know,
okay,
I want you to save your
yeah.
ideas.
So I'm basically using the school as my rough draft and seeing how it works out for the kids there, what feedback I get. And in the summertime, I'm gonna polish it and I'm gonna turn this into a Mr. Brown's class show. We'll see what happens.
You know, I heavily endorse that message. Heavily. I love stuff like that. You know I do. I love stuff like that. I mean, everything I do was an experiment at some point, and then I'm turned into say, you know me, how I do it.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I know I do. I love that idea. I think that's, you know, and that could turn into books, workbooks. I mean, you know, don't get me started, Mike. I'll start giving you 10, 20,000 ideas by Mr. Brown's class. I mean, I could totally give you like 8,000 ideas. 8,000.
That's the thing. I know you're the person to connect with on all that. I was telling my friend James, I said, I have so many ideas that float out of me, but I don't always know how to make the business end or monetize off of them because I'm so in the creative mode. So that's been kind of my thing during the quarantine, trying to find that balance of, okay, how do I do this and still enjoy it, but also monetize off of it?
Let me give you an example, because I do, and we're laughing, but in real life, people do come to me all the time and say, James, I have this idea. Tell me what I can do, because I do it. But something that I'm doing. So there's TikTok, of course, right? And TikTok is big. Apparently, I'm a TikTok star now. I don't know what happened. I've been on it 3 months. I just made 11,000 followers. I don't even know how I got there. Over 1 million views. I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I'm not doing any dances. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm just talking. That's all I do. My friend goes, all you do is talk to people. And that's all you do. I said, I know, that's all I do. And I'm telling you, it's crazy talk. It's crazy TikTok.
I'm
So
gonna check it out. I haven't gotten into the craze yet, but I'll have to check that out.
there's a lot of silly stuff on there. You just go, okay. But then I see, for me, I think outside the box all the time. I found people who do actually specific stuff. I found a guy who does, because it's only a minute long. You only do from 15 seconds to a minute long. There's one guy does a scripture every day. So he picks a certain scripture that just has to do with something that's going on. And it's like, oh, one guy does a song every day. One guy does a minute poem every day. I started seeing there people actually do certain things and they're successful. So I said, James Lott Jr., what can you bring to this thing? So one of the things I do several on there, but one of the things I did that's successful, I'm an organizer, as you know. You may not know out there, I'm a professional organizer by trade. I started a series called How to Get Super Organized Under a Minute.
Oh, wow.
So I give tips in under a minute, some organizing tip. And that's been very successful. Now, here's the next step of that. So you have that idea. We're creative, so we created that, right? You create that, it's good. But the next step is, well, I can't monetize it on TikTok yet. They don't have a monetization thing. What can I do? Well, I started doing this thing where in the early stage was, here's a tip about, let's see. Oh my God, what I got. Okay, repurposing things you have in your house for, I use this one of the things. I use this now to put like paper clips in it or something, like repurposing. I give you a tip under a minute, then I go to my YouTube channel for the longer video. Because
Okay.
on YouTube is where I monetize. Another thing I decided to do, I'm doing this now. I said, well, it's part of my super organizer universe. Anyway, I have my talk show, I have this, I have that, my Christmas show, all this stuff. I said, what if I take, right now I'm thinking up to episode 45 at this point, something like that. What if I do volumes of books? Because I do books too, from that. You're laughing, you know this is me, from the series. So now I'm writing the first books. I'm just taking exactly those first 45 episodes and transfer them into a book. And it's called How to Get Super Organized Under a Minute, based on the TikTok series of the same name. And I can sell that, and that's monetization. I even thought about, and it's another thing, you even thought about this, what if I turn it into a podcast series? I haven't done that because I already have my own show already. But I think, what if I turn it into a podcast? So that's how I build. It's an example of how I build. And you always ask me, because I'm a hustler. I'm
Yes.
old school. I'm out there selling my wares. I'm just like, but that's how it started. It's like, okay, because I have a business mind. I think I'm always thinking like, how can I take this to another? And also, I'm a very helpful person. I want people not everybody's on TikTok. So these are folks who are maybe not be on TikTok and now get the TikTok stuff from me, and it's another avenue. So that's how you do it. Yeah.
Well, my question to you is like, how do you keep going during times of like, just like right now, like with this pandemic, like how do you stay motivated and keep yourself upbeat about it? Because I know a lot of creatives that are struggling right now, just with the music industry being shut down, well, all entertainment being shut down, and just like people almost like feeling hopeless. But like, what's keeping you going?
That's a good question. And there's people like right now, for you soap folks out there, for the first time in 47 years, there are no new soaps of Young and the Restless and Bold and Beautiful. No new soaps. Like, there's no new episodes. There's none in the can. They're not filming. Like, this is our soap world is like just freaking out about this. If you're a comic book fan, there are no comic books coming out. Comics are done for now. Like, what does that mean? But a comic world, like there's no new comics coming out. And it's like that never has happened before. So that scares people. And I have a lot of people in my life that are scared. They literally are scared. They really have anxiety and they're freaking out. I decided, because I went through something so horrible 2 years ago, my face being paralyzed and having to be home for almost a year and not be able to go anywhere or do anything, that I'm actually in a better position this time. It was a mindset flip. It was like, oh, okay, well, this time my face isn't paralyzed. I can actually move around. I can think. I can do all the things I couldn't do that year. But my brain was fried.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because that's how I've been feeling as well about my life experiences have kind of prepared me for this. Because I think a lot about Hurricane Katrina and having to evacuate and having to adapt to a new life. And it's like right now I'm adapting to everything that's going on. And even, in the community that we belong to, I see a lot of people struggling with, wanting to hook up with people and stuff like that. And, granted, I didn't grow up during the time of like HIV and AIDS, but for myself growing up, I've always had like a paranoia or a phobia of, STDs and stuff like that. So to have that and now be in this time where it's like, it's not even an STD that can kill you, just simply being around someone can take your life. I feel like all of that paranoia that once seemed negative turned into a positive of like, well, I cannot be around someone and not socialize and not put myself in danger simply because I value my life that much.
That's a good point also, because I did come to the generation of AIDS. I mean, I came of age in the middle of it in the 80s, in the mid 80s. And I remember, all those guys are dead. Everybody I know is dead, basically. And I was telling our friend Tony Moore, we were talking yesterday, we talk every day. He was going back, he goes, I miss my college years. I miss my friends when I was 19, 20 years old. And I go, yeah, what's funny is I'm like 15 years ahead of you. All my friends are dead from that time period. They were when I was 19 and 20, and when I was in college, and when I was working at the Hollywood YMCA in the 80s. And they're all dead, and even my brother's dead. Everybody from that time period, they're just dead. And I remember, I think that part of that actually has helped me also. There are a lot of us of my age group that are left, are kind of like, well, we went through something not the same, but similar in terms of, we didn't know if it was airborne. We didn't know if AIDS, get on a toilet seat. It was like, you kissing. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't know in the beginning. People forget that. There's a lot of things we did not know. And I was becoming a nurse at the same time. So we were like, and they didn't know what was going on. And we were like, anybody comes in with lesions, don't touch them. Don't do this. It was a lot of confusion. And that reminds me of this right now. That part reminds me of the same thing, where there's all this confusion. Well, now there's 6 new symptoms, and there's this over here, and it's over. We don't have a handle on it yet. And the whole AIDS, HIV thing was the same thing. We didn't have a handle on it. And folks back then, the government didn't care. at first. So you guys know that I was protesting and everything because the government didn't do anything about it. And it took President Reagan 7 years before he even said the word AIDS. I mean, 7 years. And by then it was like 30,000 people that died by then. Like, that's a lot of people to die from something that no one cares about. There was no treatment. There's people trying to figure it out. So I remember being nervous and paranoid because here I am coming of age, that comes with sexuality, that comes with having sex. It's really strange because you don't want to catch anything. And then we're like, wait a minute, now women can get it too. And then it was a whole weird thing. So this reminds me a little bit of that, but I think going through that has helped inform how I was going to go into this. It's like, okay, well, right now we don't know much. Panicking doesn't help.
Yeah.
Panicking does nothing. It does nothing. Having some fear. I have some fear. In the beginning, I had some fear. In the beginning, it was kind of like, okay, I don't want to touch anything. It was a little nervous thing. But now, 41 days in, I'm just like, I pretty much think I'm healthy for the most part because I haven't caught any. I haven't had any. So I'm not around anybody. My brother takes precautions. He goes to and from work. But if I caught anything, it'd be because of him, possibly. But I'm much more at peace about it now because every day I'm busy. Like, literally, except for this weekend. The weekends I take off. The weekends are let's just side note. We're going to switch for a second because I got to mention this to you because this is kind of fun. So, side note, I'd never do this. And anybody who knows me get a test, I just never do this. I did no work this weekend. I laid around, drank all weekend. I was like, oh, that's a lot to do. And watched Netflix and Apple TV. That's all I did. I watched, from Friday night to last night. That's all I did. It was like watch all this stuff. And I was just telling my friend Brianna, she goes, what did you watch? I was listing all these things. I just want to tell you, it was a wonderful, glorious thing. And I've decided, because now I'm modifying my new normal, as we call it, our new normal, because we're going to be in this for a while, my weekends will be off for stuff like that. During the week, I'll do all my interviews, all my, my posts, all my books, and everything. But on the weekends, I'm going to shut down. Friday night, I'm going to shut down and just be. And it was so much fun. I saw the Beastie Boys documentary. You guys need to see it. It's so good. It's so good. I saw the Clive Davis documentary. It's so good. And if you love Whitney Houston, you're going to cry because they had such a close connection. But it was such a great, all these people that he influenced, L.A. Reid and Babyface and Simon and Garfunkel. And he helped, and P. Diddy. They're all in. It's a great documentary. And then I watched Black AF. That was just very controversial. I did watch that one. And I gave my opinion on Facebook. I didn't hate it or love it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like if Blackish wasn't on TV already, this would be Blackish.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. It's kind of redundant in a weird way, but it wasn't horrible. I didn't think it was horrible. But it was so good just like to catch up. I watched a documentary on Jules Catch One. I watched a documentary on that. It was really good, which is the first only black gay bar in Los Angeles. That's not here anymore, of course. But my brother Max loved that place, so I felt close to him while I was watching the documentary. So I just want to say a little side note. That's what I did. It was but I'm creating this new way as I went along.
I think that's important. In the beginning of this, I found myself either doing something or planning to do something. And that's kind of how I've just been moving through life. And I really had to take time to really slow down. So I've been doing the same thing on the weekends, like really just giving myself time to be. If I want to work on something or do something, it's not much pressure. But especially with my job and like not being in the mode of, okay, I work from this time to this time, I have a cutoff time that if I haven't finished what I need to do, I'm not finishing it because like the thing about working from home is that home has now become the office. So you're working almost like 24/7. It's like, no, I'm not getting paid for all of that. If it was my own thing, sure. But no, and even now for myself and my own thing, it's like, I want to be done with work by this time, and then I just want to just let myself be.
You said something important there too. You have to, even if it's your own thing, because I have my own thing, I have to stop it. I do. I have to because I can. There were a couple of times though when I was finishing a book chapter, I did work till I finished it. Like I didn't stop, and it was a little later than I normally would do. But for the most part, I'm like, okay, usually it's around 6 or 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, done. turn down the laptop, with the laptop, the iMac, go to the other part of the room. It's like, just leave this area, go to the other room. I push the chair in, peace out, see you later, and I'm gone. Turn off the equipment. And I turn it off. And that's why I went off to the side, because I don't want to look at it when I'm watching television. I don't want to see to my eye line. There was very aesthetically, I did it on purpose to help me not look at it. Because when you work for yourself, a lot of times that's the problem, because you'll end up doing things 24/7 almost. But I told myself, if I want to work at 2 in the morning, I can. If I work from 2 to 4, that's fine. And if I want to sleep from 4 to 10 in the morning, that's fine too. I take naps, that's fine too. You know, I'm learning to like just forgive myself and just go, well, you don't have any deadlines really. You're just kind of, for me, I'm not on any deadlines. Just these are things I want to create, but you want to be able to feel like you can be creative and stay in the moment of being creative.
Yes.
You know, I'm not all business, folks. Not all business. I am creative. I have paintings. I have a puzzle. I took up crocheting. You know, I'm doing fun stuff that's like side. I'm trying to learn how to crochet. It's really hard. And then I have this little tiny, cute little sewing machine. Isn't that the cute little thing on earth? I'm gonna learn how to sew.
Nice.
So I'm gonna try. So I'm like,
And
like that.
I feel like those things are part of the creative process as well. Resting and having extracurricular things to do, like, you know, those inspire different parts of you, you know.
How are you eating these days?
I've been cooking almost every day, or cooking enough that I can eat for a couple of days. I've been drinking juice like once a week, so I've been getting juice from Press Juicery. Just in case I'm not cooking enough of my vegetables and all that stuff, at least getting that juice and getting my vitamins and all that stuff. I take vitamins every day. So I try to keep it healthy. I don't really eat out though.
Yeah, no, I've lost 10 pounds in the last month and a half. I'm doing the opposite. I'm not gonna be gaining shit. That's not gonna happen. Because I gain weight just looking at food. So I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. So I've taken it upon myself to choose what I bring into the home, first of all, food-wise. So I'm very careful what I go shopping for, what people offer me. I don't just take stuff because they're giving it to me. I'm like, well, what is it? And I'm not trying to be ungrateful. I'm just like, if I bring it in the house and I eat it, it doesn't serve me and my body well. So it's about, okay, you offer me this, I'll take that. Yes, I'll take that salsa. But no, I'm not eating white bread. I'm eating brown bread. Like I'm not trying to be ungrateful. I'm just like, I know how this works, I'll be 700 pounds. So that's not going to happen. So I've lost 10 so far, and it's been a great thing of trying things in the kitchen for myself. I made lamb for the first time last night, which I never did. I had some lamb loin chops, little tiny things, so good. But I tried a really healthy recipe, and I had spinach with it and corn. It was the bomb. Very healthy meal. I do drink lots of water. Water, folks. You ask me how I look so young. Water and moisturizing, but water does it. I'll be 51 in 2 weeks, so I want to make sure I can hold down. I know 51. Where did time go? Where did it go? I don't know where it went. Wasn't I like young and tender at one point, and now I'm 51 years old? I don't even understand. But water.
How are you celebrate in the quarantine?
What?
How are you going to celebrate your birthday?
That's a very good question. Everybody's like, James. So here's one thing we told people. I said, it's not a big birthday. I mean, I'm 51. I'm grateful to be here, but it's not like 50 or 60 or anything. I said, okay, I can't go out to eat, which is normally I would do with my friends and stuff. Can't do that family. And they can't really come over. So that's not going to happen either. Can't have a group of people come over. So they might be planning something. I'm not sure online. I'm going to let them. So I'm open to whatever. I said, I'll be at home, folks. I'm not going to go nowhere. And it's Mother's Day this year. So it's really weird. So my mother's 4 miles away. So I said, well, my mom said, we'll probably FaceTime and we'll talk, but we can't. We go to breakfast or brunch together and celebrate my birthday and her Mother's Day, but that's not gonna happen this year. I told folks, I don't want presents. People were asking me if you want presents. I'm like, I don't need anything. I said, what you can do is you can Venmo me some money and I can buy my favorite food from a certain restaurant I like. Then I'll take a picture of it or a video and go, this lunch is sponsored by cousin so-and-so. You know what I mean? So I was going to do that. And then I said, and so my daughter already sent me some money recently. And I was like, this fried chicken is sponsored by my daughter, Monica Alicia. And I posted, they love it. I said, that's what I'll do. I said, So we can't go out to eat yet, or you can either order from my favorite restaurant, have it delivered to me, and I will celebrate. Because I said, number one, I'm having some gumbo for my birthday. Somewhere I'm getting some gumbo. I don't know what the F I'm going to do, but I got to get some gumbo somewhere. That's one thing I want for sure. And so one of my friends, I'm not doing sugar. I'm not sugar in a month and a half. So that's why I'm losing weight, because sugar's the devil. I said I need a sugar-free cake for my birthday. So I know people are looking around for me. I know Whole Foods has small ones. I said, I'll take small, but it doesn't matter. But I said, I'm doing sugar-free cakes. I said, don't get me donuts, which I love. Don't get me cheesecake, which I love. Don't get me any of that stuff. Papa Jamie is trying to lose weight. God damn it. So give me the sugar-free cake. And there's one that's really good. It has chocolate. It's really good. And I said, I'll do that. And I said, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to let them see what's going on. But I said, I gave those suggestions. Like, don't buy me presents. I don't need anything. But I like to eat. And you can sponsor my food journey. I said, we'll just do that.
That's pretty cool. And I like the sponsorship thing because people have been sending me money for doing karaoke. And I mean, I thank them personally, but I think that'd be pretty cool to like start putting it out there. Like, this meal was sponsored by, or whatever I get sponsored by, whoever donated.
So you can start the thing of, because I know my friend who's DJ Steve Flores, he does where, because for tips you have a Venmo. I know the drag queens too. There's a tip. So you actually got some money from people.
In the time that I've been doing this, just to be honest with you, I've made over $100.
That's good. $100 you didn't have before. That's $100 you did not have before.
Exactly. And I've never I've sold t-shirts and stuff online, but like to actually directly use Instagram to like just push something new is like, wow, like I just didn't know that I had that skill. So I'm learning different skills that I never knew I had as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, because to be very honest with people, I'm making very little money right now because I didn't get a stimulus check. No, James did not get one. So, because I didn't file in 2019 yet, I was going to, and the Rona hit. And the lovely Bell's palsy hit me in 2018. I didn't work. I was sick the whole year. So since I didn't file, I didn't get a check, folks. No $1,200 came to me. So I didn't get that. Wow. And I'm a small business owner, but it's so minute the way they have it all set up. Like, you have to be in this county and this thing. I've got no money. I've applied. I haven't got any money for anything. So I'm not getting money from nobody. But I do have some royalty checks. So I have some coming in from my music and my books. So that stuff is kind of that's what's been my saving grace at the moment. But I'm not getting any money. So I'm thinking of ways too to offer my services and maybe charge not a lot, but a little something. I mean, I don't know. So I'm still kind of I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I haven't fully figured it out yet, but this is my little pad that I'm working on that. You know, I got pads for everything, but I'm working on that right now. Like, what exactly am I going to offer that's worth of some kind of value, and that's something I would want to do. So I'm trying to figure that. I haven't figured it out yet.
And kind of going back to what we talked about pre all of this, I think you could do workshops. You know, I've been trying to figure it out myself, how I want to put together like a podcasting workshop or a workshop for the fearless creator, or a creator that needs to be fearless, because I have a friend that put together a workshop for stocks, and he's doing very well. And he did one, and now he's up to about 6 or 7. And once you do one, there's not much else that you have to do. So
yeah, no, it's, because I do them in person. That's my whole thing. I did workshops in person. I had a partnership with Michael's, all that stuff, and so I did all that. So you're right, and so that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, well, I could do one Zoom meeting. I pay for the unlimited on Zoom every month. I could have as many people I want. I could do that. Give them, because they go into a waiting room, so you have to make sure I can see who's in the waiting room, check the list. So I'm just trying to map that all out, because I'm thinking that's something I could do, because I do offer. I'm a life coach, an organizer. I'm in the business, and so so far I've been asked to speak. I've done webinars for other people so far during this quarantine. So I'm like, okay. So now that's why I said I should do something for myself, because I'm actually doing it for them. I got paid for one of them. But I was like, but the other ones I did for free. It's kind of like, well, what can I do for myself in that same space? I do have a large audience, so I'm trying to think of what to do there. I'm just trying to iron it out before I put it out there. But we got time. I ain't going nowhere. So I'll figure out today or tomorrow. No matter. I mean, in 2 weeks I'll still be here too, probably. So I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know me. I will figure it out. That's like you best believe. James.
That's how I feel as well. Like everything I don't know right now, I'm just taking the time to figure it out. That's all.
Well, that's very important for us because, again, we're creatives. We gotta make money somehow. Um, you have to start thinking really broader. You have to think broader. And and here's another thing that's kind of interesting to me because I'm seeing it a lot more now. When my friends posted this thing, and she was actually really funny. She was like, there's this whole thing of, well, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to feel like I have to do something. I don't want to feel like pressure to do something. I just want to lay here. I'm like, well, first of all, that's fine. Like that's to me, that's a given. And I said, I got some flack online because I said, I'm not talking to you then. I'm talking to folks who tell me they're bored or I never have time to do this. I never have time to do that. I'm talking to those folks saying, well, now you have the time. And then also, no one's asking you to work 24/7 on it. They're saying that, well, then work 1 hour a day on it. That's something. I mean, it's like, I'm just saying, if you have an idea, this is the time to work on it. This is the time to finesse it. Do it. That's just my thought on that.
And like you said, you're not speaking to that board person, and I feel like I'm not speaking to the board person either. Or the person that which I am speaking to the board person, but I'm not speaking to the person that wants to rest. Like, I have friends that tell me they're bored, and it's like, well, what do you want to do? Because even myself, there were times pre-Rona that I was saying, oh, I don't have time for this. Yeah, all the time in the world right now. So now what are you going to do with it? I like in my life, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, there are zero excuses for simply doing the things that I want to do. Not saying that they have to take off to a certain level, but just putting them out there and getting them done. I have all the time in the world. I have everything that I need. I have a microphone right here to record a song. I have a keyboard right there to play something. I have everything, a camera.
Yeah, me too. Oh, it's all back here. I mean, I have it. I mean, like, there's no, I can't say those things anymore. And actually, the great thing for me has been, it's made my days go faster. Like,
Yes.
literally, I'm like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, okay. I do my late night talk show every night at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, it's 9:45. I get ready for my show. Like, I kind of like that in a way because it's like, oh, okay. And then I do my show, which is like my start to cool down moment. And after the show, I usually turn on TV and end up watching me, and I fall asleep. But it's like the day goes faster. I have a purpose. I have a purpose of some level. And again, I'm trying to be of service, not just for me, but to the community at large, and like put out music. I went for a minute there. I was like, my producers had called me and were like, we should put out an album. I'm like, should we right now? So you put out songs? Like, I mean, and they're like, well, everybody's at home, so why not? I was thinking more of the money thing. Do they have money? And they were like, well, that's not the point. The point is just put it out there, and whoever does have money will buy it or stream it or whatever. Buys the streaming services. But it's like, but they need to hear something new. They need to hear something different. They need to hear something other, again, than the virus. So I put out a few songs here, and then it did really well. I was like, oh, okay, I guess people are really interested. Put out the books. Put the books out. You know what I mean? It's like, just put them out there. Whoever has money will buy them. Whoever doesn't. My books aren't expensive. So just put them out there. Continue putting out content and let it fall where it may.
And the thing about that is people may not have money right now, but when people do have money, they'll remember you being there for them when they didn't have anything.
I agree with that. And they'll go back and they'll do it. It's like, and again, just keeping your presence known. Just keep your presence out there. It's like, I look for certain people when I go online. I look for certain people to see what's going on. You don't know most people. I look for certain people to see what they're doing, what's going on. And so I think that's where I get my inspiration. Is kind of like, well, if they're doing it. See, I'm not, I love me some Gary Vee. But he's like, put out 64 pieces of content a day. I'm like, well, you have like a staff of 10,000 to do that. I don't have that.
Yeah.
Now, I do a lot. I mean, I'm an anomaly myself, I know, in this business. I do a lot myself. Also, I'm a one-man band for the most part. But like, he does way more than I do, but he has a whole team. So I'm not trying to do all that. But I do put out something every day. Every day something comes out for me. And whether it's for you or not doesn't matter. But you see my name and you see my names over and over again. You're like, oh, this guy's like, okay. And they get used to it. Getting used to it.
Yeah. I try to do the same thing.
Yeah. No, your name's out there. You ought to let it go podcast. So you're still recording it right now. You're still putting stuff out, right?
Yes. I've been putting out episodes every week. We are at episode 91. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for episode 100. May do like a live episode, maybe, and like like an online party. I don't
Musical
know.
episode. You'll sing the whole interview. Hi, I am Mike Brown, and I'm going to talk to you. Yes, so that's like that. You're like, here's my guest today. Or you wrap it all out. And I was my guest. My name is Mike Brown. Yeah, something like that. Oh, don't get me started. Now I'm thinking, Hamilton was a hit. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yes. Oh, that's great. 100 episodes is so exciting.
Yeah, so I'm pushing through. Like the remote thing is kind of challenging for me because that face-to-face connection is what I feel like creates that energy for my podcast. But I'm also accepting that I don't have that right now. So what am I going to do? Am I going to complain about not being able to connect, or am I going to learn how to connect digitally?
I had somebody the other day, I had 2 guests cancel on me. They didn't want to do Zoom. I want to be in the studio with you. And I said, actually, I really appreciate that. And I want you to studio me. I don't know when that's going to happen because we don't know when it's going to happen. And I made the same thing. I said, I can actually connect. I had 2 guests. My show came out Friday. 2 of my guests started crying as we were talking. The 3 of us were together talking a serious subject. And we all got teary-eyed. And that told me you can still make connection.
Yeah.
It's your mindset. It's just like, what are you as you go into this meeting? What are you when you go into the Zoom meeting? Are you the wall up? Are you just like, well, this is artificial, so I'm gonna be whatever? Or do you stay present and let and pull away the cameras, pull away the separation, and come together?
Yeah, I think for me it's been guest dependent because I feel like with the guests that I have personal relationships with, it felt, and that's so weird. I'm just thinking about that talking to you, but it felt more challenging talking to them on the podcast because I was in the mindset of what this has to be, what it is. And, when I did the show with Anthony Valadez, it was like our conversation just flowed. It was smooth. And it was really it really so far has been one of my like favorite episodes, like not just quarantine, but just like, recording with somebody that I would say, and not to put quotations on it, but does this, he's on the radio, he's doing stuff. And for me to feel like, okay, I handled this professionally, I connected. It's like, I can do this. I have to constantly remind myself, I can do this. I just have to practice with it and keep going with it and keep just figuring it out and getting better.
It literally, everything we're saying today goes down to mindset shift.
Yeah.
Perception, it's reality, it's all those things that we're all talking about. Literally, that's all it is. It's literally saying, okay, is the glass half full or half empty? I'm like, I have a glass with water in it. That's what makes me happy. I don't look at it as empty or full. I got water. I didn't have water maybe 2 weeks ago, but I got water and I got a glass to drink it in. That's a shift of mindset. You know what I mean? That's one of the shifts of mindset. And that's all we're talking about. That's all we're talking about. Really, it's about how are you going to look at a situation? I mean, you can sit back and just go, no, and then you're stuck. I don't want to be stuck. The last thing I want to be is stuck. I want to keep moving.
That's why I hear people say, "Oh, I can't wait for things to go back to normal." Not me. I'm in the normal right now, and I'm gonna keep moving normal to look better because I see what my past ways have gotten me. They've gotten me pretty far, but at the same time, there are a few that held me back. So it's like, do I want to go back to that? Or do I want to learn what I have to learn right now? Like I said, you could look at this time right now as being miserable, or you could look at it as, okay, something bigger is coming my way. So I need to figure out everything I need to while I'm in this cocoon. So when I step out, I can be that butterfly.
Well, I think people like, DJ D Nice, who all I knew him was from that song. My name is D Nice back in the day. That's all I knew him from. And now I'm like, he's like a superstar. And there are superstars being born. I mean, hello, out of tragedy and crisis, good things come out of it sometimes. People don't understand that. New ways of thinking come out. Stars come out of it. And I was looking at him as an example. You got the Mrs. Obama talking about him. You got Oprah talking about him. Everybody's talking like, that's amazing. A guy who was like a one-hit wonder back in the 90s, literally is like, no shade to him. I like what he's doing. I'm just saying that you don't know where you come from
Yeah.
that during this kind of strange time period, he had the foresight to think of that, to do it, one of the first ones to do it. And
Yeah.
now everybody's doing it now, but like he's the most successful. And I've gone there, I mean, he's on all day long, and I've gone on and seen he had over like 60,000 people listening. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's like, and so that's kind of, and I saw DJ Spinarella was doing that for a while. This was doing it for a while. And I mean, it's like people are starting to do it now. It's like, oh, okay. So now we got music playing in the background while you're trying to have your life, you know,
Yeah.
playing all your favorite songs. I mean, what an ingenious thought. I mean, to me, it's just an ingenious thought. I listen, as you know, I listen to music. I mean, it came out with the music. That's what we do. It's like and you don't have to think about it. You can move around, do things, whatever. It's like, and it gives you nostalgia. Music gives you good feelings. So I look at him as somebody who's a great example of, I think he's gonna be a star out of this whole thing. Like he's gonna be a real big presence
Yeah,
out of
absolutely.
this. Folks. And Mike Brown is too. We stars.
I appreciate that. You too. You too.
My old ass is trying, Mike. I'm out there. I am whoring myself out there. I am trying.
Nah, you are doing like you are very inspiring. It's funny, like I said, me and James, we talk about you a lot because you do so much and you just don't stop. You don't stop. And I appreciate that because there are days where I don't feel it, and then I log on and I see James Lott every night at 10 o'clock, you know, and it's just like, you just got to do it. And whatever comes out of it, comes out of it.
That's true. And I got to talk to him because we have those songs that are really, I want to release those songs. They're really good that he did.
I told him you guys should. Like, I told him you guys should. After I listened to him, I told him, I was like,
I'm gonna send him a message and say, okay, it's been a year or so. Can I release the songs? We can just release the songs. They're actually really good.
He can be self-conscious about, you know, his own work, because even work that we've done, like I can tell like he envisions it a certain way, and I may have it a certain way, and it just, I think it makes him a little uncomfortable to not see things exactly how he sees it. But I told him, who knows? Like, he might be on the next Pride float. You know what I mean? So,
right. So for you guys out there who don't know, so we have a friend named James who's that yoga dude. We love him, and he's a great guy. And so a couple of years ago, I recorded a couple songs with him. I had this concept, and I said, yes, I love his voice. I love his voice, and I said, I'm going to do something different for you and put you on dance songs. And I said, they won't be silly or anything. They're cool. They're really cool dance songs. They're very summer and very like whatever. And so, and I remember I played them for him. And I told him, I said, you're going to be used to this. You're not going to be used to this at all. I'm trying to show you something different. And he seemed to like them, but he told me he was really nervous about them. It's not what he usually does. And I said, I don't think it's going to, I said, trust James Lott Jr. I'm not going to hurt your brand in any way or form. You won't be connected to me. Trust me. I'm not trying to be my ego or anything, but I'm a good brand to be connected to. Trust me. I would never do anything to hurt your brand. I would never do that. But I said, these are like, and because it's not really your project, it's my project that you're on, you're a little removed. You're slightly removed. You're just like, it's kind of like, it's us together. I thought of a name J2, because they're both named James. I have a name for it. So it'll be under J2. So not really your name out there. It'll be under J2 on stuff. So I haven't revisited it in over a year. So I need to revisit it again and say, it's that time period. Let's release the songs. Let's just see what happens. Maybe make a little money off them.
I think you should, because after you had sent them to me, when I came by your place, I reached out to him and I was like, man, you should definitely consider doing something with that, because I thought it was pretty cool. I really did.
He has a great voice. I mean, he has a great voice, and I know, and there's folks out there who have done. I mean, Usher's done dance music. I mean, there are people who went to dance music and had really good success off of it, and they still can do you still do your hip hop, R&B, whatever. And I actually wrote the songs to cater to him, kind of, because the Feel Free, of course, was one, because that's what he had. I was like, no, I was thinking of you in mind. I just wanted to showcase you a different way. And I know for me, I have a song coming out called Lost and Found, where I sing in a higher register. And that was because my producer said, James, this song calls for you to do that. And I had to trust him. And it's the guy who works for Teddy Riley, works for Sheryl Crow. I'm like, you know your shit, so I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And I trust him. When I first heard it, I was nervous. I was like, that's me? That's me? And now I love the song. I love the song. And I mean, whoever I played it for loves it. And the same with the songs of James. I played it for some big industry folks, and they loved it. And I get told James, I played some big people who really like the song. I'm talking folks who know what they're talking about, They think the songs are fun and breezy and
Yeah.
they're great spring summer jams. That's exactly what they said. So and he was like, oh yeah, yeah. So I never released them because I want to respect him. But they've been in the vaults. We did like 3 songs, and they're in the vaults. I want to release them, so I'm gonna send them a message.
You should.
But again, it's that whole thing of just thinking outside the box and seeing where it falls. And if it doesn't work out, if it's not something good, it's not a bad thing. It's just like, okay, well, wasn't a big hit. Fine, you move on to something else. Or what if it is a big hit? It's always that mindset shifting again. It's like people all the time. Well, what if this happens? I go, well, what if that happens? You know, it's like, so you can do that. You can do that all day long.
And I think the thing to remember is that we have absolutely no control over it. So just keep shooting shots, and whatever happens, like you may put it out today, and 10 years from now, somebody might find it and be like, hey, I need you to do this, that, or whatever. We don't know. Be nice.
I've had that. I've had some of my older blogs or work suddenly blow up.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's happening in the world either, where all of a sudden they type in a keyword and then your shit pops up. You're like, oh, okay. And I was like, my brother had that happen with him. He wrote a post on Bobby Brown like 10 years ago. And somehow in the news, Bobby Brown came up and that post exploded and was shared. And it was like, James, I wrote this 10 years ago. But that's the point. That's with any art. It's nerve-wracking putting out art. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. You know it. You know it is. No matter how confident you are. I'll tell you something, Mike. Before every book I release, before every song I release, before every show I release, I'm a little nervous. Even to this day. I've been doing it for 13 years. Even to this day, I'm like, oh, okay, let it go. And I walk through the fear. Fear is good. Nervousness is good. You just you just walk through it, put it out there, and trust me, I'm in the television game, I'm in the what they call the opinion game. So I've had the most horrible things said to me online. So it's like I've already heard it all. I mean, they go, you're fat, okay. Your teeth are fucked up, okay. I got my teeth, yeah, I do. You know, it's like you're black, yeah, I'm black. You know, I've heard all kind of things. You know, I've heard all kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, well, I've survived that. Just put it out there. It's always going to be a little nerve-wracking. It's going to be a little nervous, but then it's out there. I love things that come to completion. I love completing something. That makes me the happiest. Like I went from beginning to end and I completed it. Whatever happens now, that doesn't even matter so much. It's that I completed it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Wait, what's wrong with your music?
You know what? I haven't been super focused on music because I kind of have been in that mindset of what it has to be. I've still been working on pre-Rona principles, but slowly but surely I've been working on music. What I'm working on right now is, and if you track your BPM, I would love for you to send it to me, your heart rate, because I'm taking my friends and my family members' heart rates and trying to create music around that.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, and just seeing if, because I really do feel like music heals. So just trying to see if I can use my music to maybe heal the people I love, and then maybe heal people that, like, if I'm putting the love and the healing into it, if that can be felt by the listeners. Because I know a lot of times with music I've done in the past, like if I made music sad, like people have told me like stuff that has made them sad or made them feel good. So it's like, if I'm being intentional about what I'm doing with it, then let's see what comes out of that. And initially it felt like a lot of pressure, but just talking to you, like it feels like it has to be done.
Yay! It was funny. My girl Marissa Serafini, I'm gonna call her out. We were talking like this on the show. I had her on the show, and she was like, "I used to edit all the time these cool videos with music, and I used to love doing it." I go, "Do it." Turns out 2 days later, she's like, she went on her Twitter where, because of James Lott Jr., here's my new video I put out. I'm like, you're welcome. Inspiration. Especially if you say you love doing it, like then you're like, let's go in there, try it out, see what's going on. If you love doing it, why aren't you doing it? Do it.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
If you love doing it, I mean, it's something you love to do. I don't want anybody doing anything. I want them to force themselves doing it. I don't want that at all. It should be organic, and you should want to do it. But if you like doing it, then
Yeah, and I really do. I think for me, what kind of tainted music for me was when I did start making a little money from it, and feeling like I was now having to cater to making the money as opposed to simply doing it for joy. So this time might be a good time for me to really just reconnect my relationship with music because I love it. I mean, I teach it to kids.
I know, I know,
I I am music. I
I
live
know you
music.
are.
I breathe music. You
Yeah,
know.
good music. Yeah, good music out too. And that's the
Thank
thing. I that's the thing. I know what it feels like because when I first did the first songs, they were just for fun. So I know what you
you.
mean. Like I don't, whatever happens. And then when they said let's release them, I said sure, I'll release them, and they actually did. Okay, it does change. No, it does change things. You're right. You go, oh, well, can I write another hit? And all of a sudden, can I write another thing? And like, or should I write a song? I mean, now I get it. I can totally get it now. And then so when I did the first album, I was very proud of that album. The album's out. It's good. And it was like, oh, another album? Oh, okay. I guess we can do another album. You start to feel the machine a little bit. But I had to do it. I had to stop and go. But I love being in the studio. I love creating. Just tell stories. Just tell stories. And almost Bell's palsy was almost the best thing that happened to me on some level because it made me shut down and I
Yeah.
had to reevaluate and start over, so to speak. I had to learn how to talk again, so to speak. I had to learn how to enunciate. I had to learn how to use. I literally had to work my muscles, my face. I had to get them back. So the last album I had out, Salty Clouds, Sunflower Dreams, that kind of those clouds were salty, folks. Everybody laughs at the title. I'm like, there was some salty clouds in my life for a while. I was like, oh, not good. But I've had to start over. So I learned, I re-loved music again. I was like, I love music. I love doing this. I love songwriting. I love tinkering around with stuff. And then, oh my God, that's good. Let's keep that in there, And I did relearn it again. So there was a point of, I was like, I hadn't done it for like a year. It was like, oh, and I can do it again. There was excitement. And so now I have a new album coming out called Safety in Numbers on my birthday. So I'm celebrating
Okay.
my birthday with a new album. So it's called Safety Numbers of Third Dimension. It's my fifth album of all things. Fifth.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yes, I can't believe it either. It's 10 songs, and there's some good songs on it too. And working on my Spanish music. I released 2 Spanish songs, last month. So I'm working on that. Yeah, I have some. I'm collaborating with folks. I have a lot of stuff going on the music wise, but I like what you said. Get reacquainted with your music. Relove your music in the process. But yeah, don't kill yourself doing it. But just like if you
Right.
like doing it, do it. Like why not? If you feel something comes out of you, then do it.
Yeah, I definitely am tapping into that youthfulness of like, when I first started doing this and just not caring what it had to be and just letting whatever flowed out of me flow out of me. Like what I've been trying to do is time myself. So give myself a 30-minute block. It's like within this 30 minutes, whatever you come up with is what you come up with. And you just got to move on to the next thing.
I like that. I actually like that. Well, it's one of those things, like, there's some songs I've never released that are still in the vaults I've never released because they just came out of experiments. They come out of things you try. You may come back to them later and go, let me finesse that one. I have a new idea for this. You just, like you say, you never know. What I like is just creating,
Yeah.
just put in space to create. You just never know. I dream things sometimes, write it down. Just like whatever it is, just like, it's just fun. And I think I love being creative. I feel like within all of this, there is still creativity to be found, and that's kind of our mind is the strongest thing we have.
I agree.
That's the strongest thing we have, and that's where we'll end the show. I can talk to you forever. I can just keep talking to you forever. We're supposed to do this again. But I really go ahead.
I was gonna say we have to do it for my show. We definitely have
I'm ready.
to
Anytime.
record an episode.
Last
Okay.
the last show I did with him, I got a lot of great. I was telling you, I got a lot of great feedback from people. People were like, "I don't know you, but I love the episode." Or, I know Mike, and I loved it. And they were telling me stuff. I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm glad now you know me, I guess."
That's awesome.
I said I love talking to Mike, so that's not even an issue. It makes it comfortable. That was a great space we're at too. We can't do that anymore right now, but that was a great space we're at. I know. It's like I long for. Actually, I'm going to read something to you. I wrote this today.
Okay.
So it's a little short poetry piece I'm going to read, and then we'll end the show because I think you might appreciate this. It's called "Looking and Longing." My voice together, and I memorized it because I literally just wrote this. I look out the window and I see fear. I turn on the TV and I see tears. I don't know where to turn anymore. It feels like the world is not ours, and I've been home for like 1,000 hours. The sun is shining, but I don't feel its warmth. The air is cleaner, or is it? I long for the days of feeling relatively safe. I long for the days of roaming all over the place. I long for the days of normalcy, the way things used to be. Or was that an illusion too?
Wow.
So that's it. That's how I feel on day 41. That's how I
Wow.
feel. So I'm gonna put that out.
Share that with me.
Yeah, I think you might appreciate that. I'm gonna put that out today on my TikTok.
Okay.
I have a series called "A Lot of Words" with two T's. So
That's
people like my voice. I tell you, I'm a hustler. I do everything.
yeah.
I work it out. I work it out. That's what I do. Mike Brown, you're the best. You're great.
Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate that.
Tell folks where they can find your podcast, their wonderful podcast, and everything. Tell them everything.
Okay. You can find the podcast on all streaming services, Apple, Spotify, the Art of Letting Go podcast. You can find the Art of Letting Go podcast, all one word, on all social media. If you would like to find some of my music, you can find it at livetopshelf.bandcamp.com, or you can search Mike Brown on all streaming services. I'm there as well. We do karaoke on Tuesdays and Sundays, starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And we just run through the night. It's really fun. And that's all I got right now.
That's good. That's so good. Check all those things out, folks. You'll figure them out. Go to him. My folks listen to me. Go to him. Get some great episodes of his show, and I'm on a couple episodes, so listen to him. Go listen to him. It's good. And of course, you can find me where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold. At James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. That's right, kids. I made it very simple for you. I am on TikTok at James Lott Jr. too, so go ahead and follow me there. SoundCloud, James Lott Jr. I'm on all streaming services of all kinds. My two latest songs are Sometimes and Life is a Candle. Both those songs are for free on my SoundCloud page for free download. You can listen to them, do that. My two Spanish songs are called Bailarlo and La Semana. They're with Cesar Espino. They are out for purchase and streaming everywhere. And then my dance song, Music is My Life, my friend Flobo Voice, is out also everywhere where music streams. So it's like, yeah, just listen to music, do that. And then, of course, this podcast and this thing is on all the streaming services like iHeartRadio, Deezer, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, all that stuff, everything. It's where podcasts are. And of course, this video is on JLJ Media on YouTube. So while you're there, be so kind and subscribe, follow, like, push any of those buttons. And of course, on Facebook, X Connection Show. Shout out to the After Party, which is my studio. I can't see them right now, to Brittany in the booth and Montana, who runs the place. I'm so sad I can't see you guys in Inglewood, California. Sorry to say I can't see them. And everybody out there, all the creatives out there, we see you, we hear you, we have compassion for you. We know times get a little tough and a little weird, and there's anxiety and depression. Reach out to me if you want to reach out to him. We're here to listen and give any suggestions or just be an ear to listen. We're here. You're not alone. We're all going through this together. So it's kind of a weird thing that we're all going through together. Take care, everybody.